All right, let's talk about the flight first class international. London to, I'll do a longer video later, right? Show pictures and stuff, but London to New York. Again, I had to fly to New York. I couldn't fly to Seattle, which would have been nicer and saved me several $100s, but there's a few good reasons why I flew to New York. The main one is that's the only way I could have gotten the first class ticket because they weren't flying to Seattle, at least the time frame I was looking for. So I didn't even have that as an option. And the second reason was that flight wasn't earning any miles at all because I was using miles, and you either use miles or gain miles. You can't get both. So at least this way, I'm going to get like 2,500 EQMs, elite qualifying miles, which give me better status for next year. Even though I'm not going to get to the next level, but I don't know. Every mile helps. But if I could, I would have just flown straight to Seattle. So that's kind of like at least one bright thing about flying from here. Because otherwise, yeah, I wouldn't have done it. Yeah, okay, in summary, is it worth going the first class over business class? Yes, the perks are just, it starts off right from, going to your separate check-in, dedicated check-in, no lines. You can see like all these people. And the thing is, economy has these huge long lines, of course, for every airline. And then even with British Airways, business class has these long lines. It's just crazy that even because the business, they had like around 70 to 100 on a flight. So yeah, it makes sense that business class is a pretty big part of the plane, a lot of planes these days. So anyway, they have long lines, but you go to first class, you have a dedicated line, and it's not just like one or two people working. It's like, I don't know if there's a dozen. That was just crazy. And then when you get through that, which is going to take no time at all, it was like 08. You go through your own private British Airways TSA, so you go there, and there was like 0 line there too. It wasn't like once you get your stuff on the belt, it still takes a certain amount of time, and then they had to scan my bag and scan the computer and the laptop, whatever, do their thing. So, but that was kind of cool. And then when you exit that, you're right in the lounge. So you're in the first British Airways lounge, which is interesting because that was first class. I don't know why they sent me to the basic lounge, because you go a little further and you get the Concorde lounge, which is nicer. Yeah, so then I went to the Concorde lounge. So you get this is all the stuff you get if you're doing first class. When you're gonna board the plane, you get personally escorted to almost like a separate group, pre-boarding group, which also includes like people with like extra needs too. So it's not like you beat everybody, but you get on the plane first, and then you're even escorted to your seat. Yeah, and then the whole flight is, the fancy food, the fancy wine, the massive seat. It's way bigger than like any other seat. It's way bigger than even their business class seats. So yeah, the seats are, wow. Yeah, I just crazy. I didn't even mean to sleep. I just kind of was like putting it back to watch a movie, Jurassic World or something, and then I just fell asleep. So yeah, I hope it doesn't mess up my sleep too much tonight, but what can you do? Yeah, it was crazy. And then they're always like trying to serve you and just like, hey, you want some coffee or tea or more wine or water or anything. It's just like you almost have your own personal flight attendant, because there's only 8 seats in the entire plane for first class, and it seemed like there was probably like 2 or 3 or 4. I don't know how many, but it's like there's several work in that area. And then let's face it, the face cash value of just that cabin is $80,000, but I'd say almost everyone was probably paying, using miles to get it. Nobody was probably paying the $10,000 ticket. I would hope not. So that, and then getting off the plane first, you beat even business class, because I think mainly because we were they exited the very front door, so that kind of helped. And yeah, so yeah, worth it. Yes, because the thing is, it was 70,000 miles and like $600, maybe $800, or 60,000 miles and $800 for business class. It's 70,000 miles and $800 for first class. So it's 10,000 miles, which is equivalent of like on sale, and they're often on sale $200, so it's $200 more. But even then, you might have gotten the miles for free for like a credit card or something else. So it's not like I mean, it's in a way it's free. It's a free upgrade, and the only thing that's not free is that surcharge. You're always going to be, no matter what you do, you're going to be paying that $800, which is going up to $1,200 next year. So that part sucks because other airlines don't do that. They have like a $50 fee or $70 for Finnair. So the fact that British Airways does that is annoying. So would I do it again? Yeah, but I would really like to fly back to Seattle and not have to go through. I would rather, I mean, if I have to do business class, I'll do business class. But yeah, I would say it's pretty nice, but is it worth $1,200? I don't know, because the other thing is, I earned a lot of miles paying for a business class ticket going to London. I earned like 18,000 miles and 7,000 EQM, so that was a huge thing. And that was, again, pretty good, great seat, no complaints about that. Yeah, the food, I'll do that in another video. That's a lot to talk about. It's already been 6 minutes, so 6 minutes you're on.